He is about to change everything for this Buffalo Bills defense that has been in need of a savior, and Sean McDermott and Bobby Babich are working together to try to fix this Bills defense, and this guy is going to be a big part of that. Hello everyone, and welcome to Bills Digest for yet another video. Trade deadline is coming soon, and this guy that we're about to talk about may be causing the Bills to maybe be looking to another position because he looks phenomenal. Before we get started, I just want to make sure everyone is following. If you're watching this video, 88% of you guys are not, so go ahead, hit that subscribe button. And I do want to shout out something that I would like to start doing more. Our subscribers of the episode, Duran Henson, Chris Newman, and Michael Duffy, thank you for subscribing, and go ahead and hit that subscribe button if you want to be featured on another episode. So the guy that I'm going to be talking about today is none other than Michael Hoecht, who was absolutely dominant in his Buffalo Bills debut. Hoecht in this game against Andy Dalton and the Carolina Panthers: 3 tackles, 2 quarterback hits, 1.5 sacks, 1 tackle for loss, and a forced fumble that completely ended the game. The game was probably over before that forced fumble, but that one made it so there was no chance on earth that the Panthers were going to come back. And Michael Hoecht got some rave reviews from his head coach, Sean McDermott, who said he is a tone setter for us. He's a leader in his own way, even though he's only been here 1 game. In theory, he gives us an edge. And this was really high praise coming for a guy that was suspended for the first 6 games of the season due to taking some sort of performance-enhancing substance that he claims he took from one of his trainers, not knowing that it was illegal. Whether or not you believe it doesn't matter. He served his time. He is back, ready to play, and he is looking like an animal that the Bills have not seen on this defense, and just that spark plug that it feels like they needed. And you could say, well, it's just the Carolina Panthers, which is true, but you gotta win the games you play, and Michael Hoecht looked like he brought some juice that the Bills have not shown this year. If you look at some of his advanced metrics from the Bills game, he had 6 pressures first on the team, a 21.7 win rate. That's second on the team, 26.1 pressure rate, and 17.5 pass rush productivity. That was also first on the team. And this is what Anthony from Cover 1 said. He was able to compress the pocket with power, hand usage, violence, and juice. Now, one way that the Bills' defensive coordinator described Michael Hoecht, he said, if you compare it to music, he's a composer for classical music when it comes to scheme, meaning, he's very nuanced. He's very smart when it comes to, filling different gaps where he needs to, knowing what a play is going to be and what role he needs to fill on any given play. But then when you put him on the field, it's like heavy metal. It is absolute chaos with Michael Hoecht, and that is what the Bills like so much about him. Another thing with him is that him and Ed Oliver were both key pieces that we were looking for this season to really help out the rest of this defense. You have Michael Hoecht, you have Ed Oliver, you have Joey Bosa, you have Greg Rousseau. Those were kind of the 4 guys that people were most looking forward to, with TJ Sanders, Deone Walker being guys that we were also looking at to maybe have one of them break through. Deone Walker has been the one that has broken through with TJ Sanders on IR. And Michael Hoecht just absolutely made the absence of Ed Oliver not seem like a whole lot. Given it was the Panthers game, the Ed Oliver absence is absolutely huge for this season, but Michael Hoecht being there certainly helps. So does Larry Ogunjobi, who had a really solid game against the Carolina Panthers as well. Now, where does he compare in this game to the rest of the NFL? The Week 8 total pressure leaders, this was before Monday Night Football had happened. Jalen Redmond led the way from the Minnesota Vikings, and then you go down a little bit, and you see Michael Hoecht right there, right under Tui Polotu for the Chargers. Sorry if I butchered that name. This is Bills Digest, not Chargers Digest, so hopefully we don't have a whole lot of Chargers fans on here, but if you are, welcome. Anyways, Michael Hoecht from the Buffalo Bills, 6 quarterback pressures. That was right up there with the best in all of the NFL. So this is a guy that came in his debut and made some real big-time noise for this Buffalo Bills team. And here's one of those sacks that he had on Andy Dalton, combining with the great young Deone Walker, who is looking like a menace at this stage in his career. And Walker is certainly going to benefit from Michael Hoecht because he is going to be able to have a little bit less pressure on him to get to the pass rusher, to get into the backfield on run plays. And this was just an absolute shellacking by the Buffalo Bills on the defensive side of the ball to get to Andy Dalton, to get to Rico Dowdle and Chuba Hubbard and stop that run game, and only allow 9 points this entire ball game. It was absolutely remarkable. Just gave up 1 touchdown after the game was over. And this is exactly what Michael Hoecht can bring to a team. It's what he brought to LA as an undrafted free agent out of Brown University, and that is what he is doing with the Buffalo Bills now. Now, another secondary storyline I wanted to touch on here just to end this video that does kind of have to do with Michael Hoecht, but it's the fact that Sean McDermott was seemingly calling plays on the defensive side of the football after saying to the media that he has not considered taking play calling duties from Bobby Babich. After the game, he was asked, were you the one calling plays? We know that you had said you weren't going to, and Babich was still the play caller, but was that you calling plays? And he said that he was doing it side by side with Bobby Babich, reiterated that he has full trust in Babich as defensive coordinator, but he and Bobby are going to be calling plays together. We'll see what happens in the Kansas City Chiefs game and in games in the future, because this is something to keep an eye on. The Bills defense looked 10 times better with Sean McDermott calling plays. Is that because Andy Dalton absolutely sucked and the Panthers on offense were just brutal to watch? Could be. It definitely could be. Andy Dalton was really bad. There were a lot of teams that probably could have gone off on the defensive side of the football against him, but certainly something to keep an eye on, because we know what Sean McDermott can be as a defensive play caller. He can be very good, and I would like to see that continue, especially against the Chiefs, where I'm worried that Patrick Mahomes is going to put up 400 yards on us. That's a topic for another video. We'll get into that in a game preview coming up. But thank you guys so much for tuning in to this episode of Bills Digest. Michael Hoecht, is he the savior for the Buffalo Bills? Let me know in the comments. Make sure to subscribe and have your chance at being featured in a future video. Thank you so much, guys, and have a good one.